And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and it is Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for weekly purchases, that time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, Horse and Buggy, FedEx, and of course, that old cagey outlaw, Waylon Jennings. And this week, middle of the road week this week, we'll say, as far as weekly purchases go. Some good news stuff, but also a true grail item. And I did finally complete a collection here today. So this is something I've been watching, trying to get a good price on, literally for about 4 years now at this point. Finally got a good deal. We'll show that here later in the back half of weekly purchases. But of course, talking weekly purchases, we always start off with a little bit of housekeeping. What went on the channel? What's going on Patreon? What's going on behind the scenes? And we got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff coming to the channel in the future. So be on the lookout for some of that. There's a lot of cool opportunities, a lot of cool stuff going on. Much more to come. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And speaking of subscribing, thank you to everybody out there. 33,000 subscribers on YouTube. We hit that last week as well. Kudos to everybody for commenting, subscribing, liking these videos, and enjoying what I'm putting out there. I really do appreciate it. And we look onward to Series 34 or number 34,000. I'm getting wrestling figures, Series 34, whatever it is. But 34,000 is next up in the site, so make sure you do subscribe. And of course, this Thursday, I got to figure out what it's going to be. I'll have to decide that tonight. But we got our next top 10 for the channel. We do those on every 1,000 subscriber milestones. So be on the lookout for that next week. We'll find something good for that one. Still a lot of heavy hitters to do in the top 10s. Got a lot of characters out there like The Rocks and John Cena's of the world that have so many figures, you can't really do a top 5. I mean, you can, but we could do a top 10. And one of these days, I want to redo the first ever top 5 we did on the channel. I believe was Bret Hitman Hart. I would love to redo that one in the future as a top 10. And we've had a lot of Bret since then. So some of those heavy hitters will have to do over. Hulk Hogan's have to do over. It'll be an interesting ride on these top 5s and top 10s. So stay tuned to that, all that fun stuff. But let's dive into the Patreon. Of course, September, Patreon giveaway. So much content on the Patreon. There's different content every single day on the Patreon. A lot going on over there. Some peeks under the tent of future things we're working on. I posted a little picture of a peek ahead to the future. So you'll hear about that in the future. Oh, it's about the future. Back to the future. Who knows? But Patreon this month, we got a big time giveaway for the month of September. One of the Patreon members will win Owen Hart Chase AEW Unmatched figure. Yes, it is the Chase. Of course, you saw this last week in weekly purchases. I'm going to give this one away. So check out the Patreon, link in the description below, as we always say. Get in on the Owen Hart giveaway. It's going to be an all-timer. It's going to be an all-timer of a giveaway. There's no doubt about it. A very cool figure. Say what you want about the Owen Hart and the AEW line. I still think it is very cool to get some Owen Hart figures here in 2023. So that's Patreon. Now we got to recap the week that was on the channel. A lot going on this week. A lot going on every single week on the channel. We did 2 different figure hunts this week. Yes, 2 different ones. I got a lot of content built up, as you guys know. I did go to the Wrestling Revolver show. I did get to spend some time with Tommy Dreamer. I've met Tommy Dreamer a couple times in the past. He was direct off his flight from Amarillo, as he was, of course, at Terry Funk's funeral. So I got to hear a little bit about Terry Funk's funeral, some of that going on. I got to swap some Terry Funk stories with Tommy Dreamer. So always a good time to talk to the Tommy Dreamers and Mick Foley's, kind of the direct beelines to Terry Funk in a lot of ways. And you guys know how special Terry Funk was to me. We talked about it on the channel the last couple of weeks after all. So that was a lot of fun. And then you also got to see the video where I found the Chase Owen Harts. 3 stores, 3 chases. Talk about an all-timer. A lot of fun on those hunts, so check those out. We also this week worked our way through the brand new Disney Plus Marvel Legends wave. Unboxed a lot of Marvel Legends on the channel this week. Also the Bucky Cap Walmart exclusive. We unboxed that one as well. We've also worked some of the Spider-Man retro waves into this week. So a lot of Marvel Legends content on the channel this week going on. We also unboxed 2 different DC Superman figures and 2 DC Green Lantern type figures. We had Parallax in there. But we unboxed the McFarlane. McFarlane, like I said, a lot of figures coming out. I've been picking up a lot of these. A lot of them live on Patreon for quite some time before they go to traditional YouTube, but I did unbox those this week. Alf San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, one of those ones that's been on Patreon since July or so. Finally getting that on traditional YouTube. A very fun Alf figure. Black Ranger, the brand new Lightning Collection remastered Black Ranger. Had to unbox that one, so we did that on the channel. My dad joined me for some videos this week. We unboxed Godzilla Super 7 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so we got that. There is the Creature from the Black Lagoon video over on traditional Patreon, and as of right now, as I'm filming this, the black and white Frankenstein, or Bride of Frankenstein, is on Patreon as well. That should be on traditional YouTube next, so look out for that one very, very soon. Weekly Tuesday tradition, Jakks Classic Superstars did that again this week. A lot of Jakks Classic Superstars, about 150 of those on Patreon as well. So a lot of classic content. Top 5 Bray Wyatt figures. A lot of people wanted to do this one. Of course, we did do Fiend about a year ago, so check out the top 5 Fiend about a year ago. But a lot of people messaged me. A lot of people put in the comments they wanted a Bray Wyatt top 5. And I said, all right, I'll do it. I really didn't have any plans to do it anytime soon, but I figured I would do that one. A lot of people wanted to see it. And I talked about it in that video. As I always say, man, you're heroes. You got to let them know that I like what you're doing. Stuff like that. Wear your heart on your sleeve with the people you like, because as we see when everybody dies, or when anybody dies out there, oh, he was my favorite wrestler, all this. And a lot of times you've never heard that person ever even talk about that character. So, man, if you really like something, get out there, wear it on your sleeve. I've done that my whole life, for good or bad, and I always say good for me. I am who I am, like a young Popeye, and I'm going to say, hey, I love Motorhead. I'm going to wear a Motorhead shirt every day. I love this, I love that. I'm never going to hide that kind of stuff. Action figures, toys, I never hid that once in my life. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's what I'll say. Wear your heart on your sleeve. You only got one life. I'm going to live it up, like a young Rob Halford, I think, said that many moons ago to us, and it still stands tall to this day. But check out the Bray Wyatt top 5 if you want to. Another one that's sat on Patreon for a heck of a long time, Power Town Series 1, Final Thoughts, Ranking and Review. A long video. I ranked the set from my least favorite to my favorite, but I also talk about Power Town. The ebbs and flows, the moving around with that, and all the conspiracies that were involved as well along the way. So a nice kind of finishing cap to Power Town Series 1. Power Town Series 2, hopefully coming in 2024. We'll see what happens with that one there. Mattel Retros running strong with Mattel. Those shipped out just like that. We unboxed those on the channel this week as well. DC McFarlane's Gorilla Grodd. You guys know me. I love a hairy bipedal creature. Had to unbox that on the channel. And G.I. Joe Crimson Guard. A lot of G.I. Joe's content on the channel the last couple of weeks. A lot more to come as well. So stay tuned to the channel as we got a lot more G.I. Joe content. You're going to see some G.I. Joe in this very video of weekly purchases. Now we got to turn our attention to the question of the week. And previously, up until this week, it was the Jonathan Frakes question of the week. Well, unfortunately, we ran out of Jonathan Frakes questions. I can't believe this. Never thought this day would come. I'm almost interested to get a cameo from him. And I'm just going to put a bunch of questions, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to pay you this money. I want you to rattle off all these questions. And maybe he'll do like 50 of them just after, you know, one after another. Just say a comment, and then we'll answer them each week. Wouldn't that be kind of funny? I don't know. I got to look into that. But I did turn it over to you guys. I said, put in the comments down below. Give me a question. I'll answer it. We'll do a question of the week. That will hang strong into next week as well. So if you got a question, put it in the comments of this video. You too can be selected as the question of the week. And this week's question of the week comes from Seagull3407. He says, what is your favorite breakfast good? And I think he means food is my guess there. I think there was a little typo in there. You know, autocorrect and all that kind of stuff. But what is your favorite breakfast food? And now I'm probably going to have a bunch of people unsubscribe immediately when I say this. I am not a huge breakfast guy. A lot of people love to have breakfast for dinner. That's god-awful to me. I am not a breakfast for dinner guy. I don't know what it is. I don't like to go to the IHOPs of the world and the breakfasts of the world because I always feel like breakfast food, for the most part, of course there's some things, I can make that at home myself very easily. I can make some eggs. I can make some hash browns. I can make some bacon. I can do that very easily. You can make some pancakes if you want. You can get an Eggo waffle if you need to. I feel like it's not as much of a treat as going out for a pizza or some kind of fancy dinner or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So I'm not a huge breakfast food guy. Every morning, I'm boring. I must be an old man. I eat old-fashioned oats with a little bit of cinnamon, some almonds. Oh, I gotta have some almonds. And I put a little honey in there. And I just eat that every day at my desk while I'm working away early in the morning. And I usually have a Monster with me. Very, very fitting for a guy named Kyle to have a Monster in the morning. But That's my morning routine. It used to be a heck of a lot different when I was really working out heavy, whatever that was, 10, 15 years ago. What is time, as we always do say? I used to be eating eggs in the middle of the night, hard-boiled eggs. I'd have, a dozen eggs. I'd have protein shakes, all that. I mean, it was all calculated out throughout the day, and that was a lot of work, and it was a lot to plan on. But breakfast food, I'm not a huge breakfast food, but if I had to pick anything, if somebody said, Kyle, you're going out for breakfast, what are you going to get? I'd probably get a skillet of some kind, like a ham and bacon and onion and cheese and eggs, probably over medium or over hard, more likely. I'd probably get one of those skillet type things there. That's probably what I'd go for there. But not a huge breakfast guy, but I dabble. I dabble in the breakfast. So there it is. That is the question of the week. And as I said, let me know in the comments. I'll get your question of the week maybe next week. So now we got to turn our attention over to the weekly purchases. All right, let's dive into the old weekly purchases here in a mixed bag this week. Not the biggest week, not the smallest week, one of those great in-between weeks, and I prefer the in-between weeks. I hate those big wallet-busting weeks, which this one kind of is in some ways, as I did pick up that sewer layer, as you guys did know. Of course, I will pre-order the Giant Man HasLab. We talked about that in the toy news yesterday. A lot of people all over the fact on the pricing. Is it good? Is it too much? Is it just right? Always going to be that. No matter if it was $1, people would be still arguing about the pricing on that one. I will be picking that one up. As I always say, you got to vote with your wallet at the end of the day. But let's dive into the stuff this week, and we got some hot stuff off the truck from Big Bad Toy Store. Use link in the description down below. We did get Clamp Champ, Masterverse Clamp Champ. We're building out that universe there. Looking really good with old Clamp Champ right there. And we got Skeletor. How about this one? When he's working for Hordak a little bit there. But we got Skeletor right there. Looking good. Yeah, Servant of Hordak. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought this was the Hordak edition. So we do got Skeletor looking good. We're not done there, though. We got Webster. Oh, Webster Long. And I got a video with Webster Long that I'm just waiting to play. I got to figure it out. I'll get that to you guys one of these days. Old friend of the channel, Emmanuel Lewis. Oh, baby. We'll get that video, so stay tuned for that in the future on the channel. Make sure you subscribe. But there's old Webster. Not that Webster. This Webster. And then, of course, Prince Adam, which is a very cool one. A little bit different there, but we get Prince Adam. So we're building out the Masterverse. We continue to build out the old Masterverse. But we're not done with He-Man. We're back over to the Origins. We got another one here. We got old Spikor in the Origins line. So, of course, Big Bad Toy Store, I got another shipment of the Origins with the rest of this wave. That should be here tomorrow, so maybe that'll be next week's weekly purchases. Who knows? But we got Spikor at least. The rest are coming right around the corner. Right around the corner there. And then at Big Bad Toy Store, I did order another Skeleton Warriors pack, and this is one of the keys out there. I always say, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, always look at the ding and dent section. Same thing with Ringside Collectibles. If you're going to open these things up anyways, man, get a couple of dollars off. And this set was $3 cheaper than normal because it was damaged. As you can see right here, it has a little cut there. Doesn't matter to me. I'm opening it up. Got to get a deal. Save $3. I'm here for that all day long. So I got another set of Skeleton Warriors right there. And then I'm a sucker, but I picked up another Roton for $8 on clearance. Can you believe that? $8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this one up. I'm going to have two of them on my display. I'll have one looking like this, one with like the roll cage on top. So a little point of difference there. I'll have two Rotons in my collection. But check your Walmarts. They're going down to $8. I think I saw somebody even show they got theirs for $6. Oh my gosh, got to get a deal out there. No doubt about it. So the Roton coming home once again. We continue on over to this side of the fence, and right before I started filming this video, there was a knock at the door, and it was Hasbro Pulse. Yes, Hasbro Pulse came to my house. No, more like the UPS guy, but he did drop off something special, a little G.I. Joe, a little bit of Trouble Bubble action right there. So I did get the Trouble Bubble through the door. Definitely going to have to unbox this one. Look for that review on the channel soon. Very excited about the Trouble Bubble. And of course, I did order two of these. Definitely as an army builder, so I had to pick up two of the Trouble Bubbles. Very excited for this. I love all this G.I. Joe content that's slowly rolling out. I believe next week's Snow Job should be hitting. I like that they're just slowly kind of piecing things out. Not just like, here's 10 figures at once. You get a figure, another week you get 2 figures. That's what I want. I want a G.I. Joe weekly program where I get one G.I. Joe thing every single week. I think that would be a lot of fun. But we continue on with weekly purchases. We did get Survivor Series once again. I already have 2 of these. I have an unboxed one, which we unboxed on the channel. I got a Mint on Card set. Well, this set right here, I split with old Dougie. Dougie lives by me. He needed another Undertaker. I wanted another Gobbledygooker because I have plans for Thanksgiving to sit this as the centerpiece of our Thanksgiving meal. And I'm sure my wife, Angie, I haven't checked it off with her yet, but I'm sure she'll be okay with it. But I needed another Gobbledygooker because I'm all in on this Gobbledygooker. I am a little bit shocked in some ways that a lot of people hate the Gobbledygooker. I mean, not everybody doesn't love everything. I understand that, but it's such a fun one-off thing, and we've had a million Undertakers. Undertaker, it's special, it's debut Undertaker, I get all that, but we get Undertakers all the time, let's be honest. Gobbledygooker, this is a one-and-done deal. This is something fun, just one-off, a perfect store exclusive, but a lot of people hating this Gobbledygooker. I just can't believe it, but I'm going to display 2 of them. I'm going to display both looks for the Gobbledygooker. That's what I'm going to do. I'm obviously crazy because I think most people aren't into the Gobbledygooker that much, but to me, the star of the show right here, the star of the show, but to each their own, as we always say. We're closing at the end right here. How about a little Kyle's Custom Corner? I finally got around to doing this week, as I did get the Ultimate Warrior Royal Rumble Elite and his old school Royal Rumble Basic. All I did was get a little hot water, and I did a head swap, and there you go. You got brand new Ultimate Warrior figures. 2 new Ultimate Warrior figures just like that. Absolutely love this basic with this head on it. So I took the head off here, put it on this one, and man, oh man, we're fighting with Warrior power now. Just absolutely cool. Happy to have this, and it feels like 2 new Warrior figures. So can't beat that anytime I get a new Warrior, even if I have to do it my own way. So there you go, got that this week. And then a heck of a deal, I got my second one in my collection now, so I can display both looks. For a lot of people, especially Stone Cold Steve Austin fans, they would say this is a Grail piece. And I'm going to get to a big-time Grail piece here in a second, so stay tuned for that. But this is quite the piece that I did get, and I got a heck of a deal for it. It is the Jakks Deluxe Classic Superstars Stone Cold Steve Austin Ringside Collectible Exclusive edition, and this is the one that came with every single belt, the Hall of Fame plaque, everything, an extra soft goods shirt. Came with everything Stone Cold ever had, an all-timer piece. You don't find these loose very often, and when you do, you don't find these complete. Thankfully, this one's 100% complete, beautiful shape. Couldn't have went to a better home, if I don't say so myself, but very happy to get this one in here. I had one that was missing all the belts and stuff that I was using. Well, now I can use one for the vest, one for the shirt, put the belts between them, display them together. Man, oh man, there it is. So an all-timer if you're a Steve Austin fan. And speaking of all-timers, I did take a trip on the toy hunt, if you saw it this week. I made a little stop into Marshall's. I said, I hear there's that 3-pack with Roman, Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman hitting. I will pick one of those up. If I see it for $20, I will grab one. There's some things I could do with another loose set, but I'm not going to pay it online and ship it, anything else. If I come across it, I will get it. If I don't, I guess I don't. But I did go in there, and I did come across this. Of course, Ruthless Aggression, Brock Lesnar. We unboxed this on the channel many moons ago. But for $7.99, I wasn't going to turn this down. I have some extra Brock shirts in my collection. I have the extra Booker T sweatpants, track pants, I guess. We got Rock track pants. I feel like I could fancy this one up a little bit and make it a different Brock Lesnar on my shelf. So I picked up this, $7.99. You can't really beat that price. Head to your Marshalls, head to your TJ Maxx's, maybe even your Ross's. They got to be next. And of course, the holiday season right around the corner. We've heard about it. We've talked about it on this very YouTube channel. There's a lot of toy stuff coming off COVID. A lot of stuff was made in a little bit too bigger quantities. There was a lot of stuff that distribution wasn't so good. I got to think the TJ Maxx's, the Marshalls, the Dress for Lesses, the Rosses, the Dirt Cheaps, the Aldi's, they're going to be swimming in stuff in the back half of the year. So some of you long gamers out there, you're going to be living the life. You're going to be living that dream come around Christmas time. So stay tuned to that. We'll watch those developments as they happen here on this very YouTube channel. Now I'm looking around. We got one item left. I do have this item loose. I have never been able to get this at a good price, mint on card. Well, the day finally came. I finally picked this up for a very good, reasonable cost, so I'm very excited about that. And it does complete my mint on card and loose collection of this line. It is the Jakks TNA Legends of the Ring line Ringside Collectible exclusives. That's the weekly purchases. What are you guys thinking? Anything good come your way this week? You find anything online? You find anything in the stores? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, question of the week, put that in the comments down below as well. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day, as you guys know by now. Even more content and a chance for an Owen Hart giveaway over there on Patreon. So check out the Patreon and all the stuff going on over there. There's a lot going on, including, like I said, the Owen Hart giveaway for the month of September. And it truly is the best way to support this channel. You can also support the channel over there at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media, Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram, and of course Threads. So you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into another work week.